It's the sound of Josh Michael with Moving Through Me.
Time now to be joined online via StreamYard to Nico Kleynhans. Good morning, sir, and thank you for your time this morning.
Good morning to you and also to your listeners.
So, Nico, you're telling to us this morning about the whole reason why medical aids make us grumpy and in some cases make us cry.
Yes, they do. I tell you what, just in your home, raise your hand if dealing with your medical aid has become a nightmare. Mine certainly has. And there are various reasons for this. My medical aid insists that I use a Johannesburg company to deliver all my chronic medication. Now, one of the items in the box that arrives has to be kept cold. So in the evening, they wrap it in ice, they put it in the box, they pick it up immediately, and by 9 o'clock in the morning, it has to be in my home so that the cold chain is kept. Now, if it goes well and they arrive on time, there's no problem. But if they miss a flight or they don't deliver on time, then it's got to go back and they've got to start again at their expense. They do get it wrong. I'm not sure why, but every now and then they get it wrong. We have the added complication that normally when your medication arrives, they deliver 30 days supply at a time. But because of COVID, they delivered up to 90 days ahead. So suddenly you've got a mountain of medication, which in theory is not a problem, except if you have co-payments. In other words, when they deliver the medication, the medical aid only covers part of the cost, and they bill you for the difference. So now you end up with 90 days of medication and a fairly steep invoice, which has got to be paid. And they moan, even although this is a co-payment and they delivered it early. So it's not really your responsibility. So I consider co-payments as punishments put in place by medical aids because your doctor wants a particular brand of medication that costs them more money, and they feel that they should not be using this newer medication. In one particular case, the one where it was wrapped in ice, I had to prove to the medical aid that this was standard treatment throughout Europe, throughout Asia, and it was only in South Africa where we considered this a special medication. And although it had been available for over 10 years, the regulator had never caught up. So I had to go and research this stuff, make my case to the regulator before the medical aid began to accept that this was standard treatment. Now, although I won, there are not many people who are as grumpy as I am, who are as determined as I am, and to have the gumption to take on a regulator and to say, I don't care that you're the experts, you've got it wrong. So I won my case, but chronic medication remains a problem for me. Now, to take it further, medical aids have designed what they euphemistically call care plans. The word suggests this is their way of protecting the consumer by providing us with specialized procedures that they will pay for. Every year, your care plan starts on the 1st of January, and it is different every year, and it ends on the 31st of December. So one would assume that your care plan arrives at the beginning of January. Well, Mine arrived last night. And that was in spite of me having to ask for it on 3 occasions. A mere 7 months late. So somehow this care plan was never intended to start on the 1st of January. So I read through my care plan carefully. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not trained in medicine. But if I read that care plan correctly, should I, as a 69-year-old male, fall pregnant, then my babies will qualify for 2 visits with a pediatrician. Now, I know we live in a country with a liberal constitution, but I don't think even the constitution can make that possible. So why am I being sent a generalized care plan clearly not designed for a 69-year-old male? Anyway, reading further, I noticed that I qualify for 1 forced expiogram only 1 forced expiogram. I have no idea what an expiogram is, but I know I qualify for one. I don't even know who to go to because I've got a physician specialist, I've got doctors, there's a whole panel of people. I don't know who to ask. What is an expiogram because I qualify for one. I also qualify for 1 fundus photograph. Now that is something that I have to know when I speak to my ophthalmologist. I spoke to him a month ago. My care plan arrived last night. I didn't get one of these fundus photographs taken. So now, do I go back to my ophthalmologist and say, sir, my medical aid says that they will pay for this. It's the first time this is on the list. It's never been on it before. What do we do now? Do we take the photograph? Is it important? Why is it necessary? Now, the issue is that this care plan is sent to you and to me. We are not trained medical staff. The care plan is supposed to be unique according to the disease that we have. I can't expect my doctor to read the 200 different care plans that he has to deal with every year in order to know what is available. It's not fair for me to expect him to know, but nor is it fair for me to know. I don't know what all that technical data means. But if you're a medical practitioner and you hope to launch a medical aid, or you want to launch a practice that will take care of medical aid in a better way, please contact me. I can make a lot of suggestions to make your life easier. But at this point in time, how medical aids are reacting to chronic patients, I don't believe it's fair. I don't believe it's just. And I don't believe that we, the medical aid patients, get the best deal. They're expecting us to know what we don't know, and they're not informing the doctor what he or she needs to know in order to provide good medical care. So I remain a grumpy consumer of medical aid products.
Nico, thank you so much. And I think that really has, again, just highlighted some of the challenges that we face in that whole sphere of medical aids and the medical practice and so forth. Thank you for bringing that to our attention this morning.
Sure. Thank you.
Have a good day. Nico Kleynhans there chatting to us via StreamYard, and such an honor and a privilege to be connected this morning.